California is referred to by people as the Golden State of America. It's the hosting state of the famous Silicon Valley, a place where dreams come true, careers explode, and all the goodies are available, but they are not free. Everything comes with a golden price tag. In this video, I will be taking you on a tour of the top 9 most expensive cities to live in California in 2025. Trust me, you won't like to miss any part, so stick around till the end because the prices we're about to unravel will shock you. Here it is. We're not just tossing out city names. We're diving deep into cost of living indexes, median home prices, rent estimates, transportation expenses, and even your morning coffee costs. If you're planning to move to California and you are curious about what your paycheck can do for you in California, then this guide is for you. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Georgina, your favorite tour guide on YouTube. Don't forget to like the video and coming at number 9 on our list of the most expensive cities to live in California in 2025 is Pasadena. Now, if you've never stepped foot in Pasadena, you might just think of it as that city with the Rose Bowl parade. But Pasadena is so much more than confetti and marching bands. Nearly $1.5 million for a typical home here, and that's a median home. Also, to rent a modest 2-bedroom apartment in a decent neighborhood, you're looking at close to $4,000 a month, not including utilities, internet, and other expenses. Pasadena is this expensive not just because of the beautiful tree-lined streets or the Spanish-style mansions, though they're part of it. The city has long been a center point for academics, professionals, and old-money Californians who prefer a quiet lifestyle. It hosts the renowned California Institute of Technology, which alone attracts an elite mix of global intellect. But beyond that, Pasadena's cultural scene is next level. It's a place where art meets architecture and affluence. The community vibe here is equally exclusive but not excessive. It's the kind of place where your neighbor might be a retired NASA scientist or a Hollywood cinematographer. Of course, all this comes at a price. Expect to pay 30 to 35% more than the national average on groceries. Gas prices hover at $6.40 per gallon in some neighborhoods. And the average date night will cost you around $110 to $130 in Pasadena. It's not that expensive yet, but people keep moving there because Pasadena feels like a perfect world. Great weather, world-class schools, clean streets, and a dash of nostalgia from when California was quieter, softer, and less congested. If you're always a family with a solid 6-figure income or a professional couple looking for urban comforts with suburban calm, Pasadena could be your dream. Remember, this is only number 10. The cities we've got coming up make Pasadena look like a discount deal at a holiday motel. Number 8 on our list of the most expensive cities to live in California in 2025 is the queen of coastal luxury herself, Santa Barbara. Just hearing the name probably reminds you of palm trees, white stucco villas, and wine tasting afternoons. But what most people don't realize is that Santa Barbara is one of the most deceptively expensive cities in the entire state, and maybe even the country. An average home costs over $2.2 million, and it's nearly $4,500 in rent per month for a 2-bedroom apartment. Santa Barbara is a modest coastal town of about 90,000 people, often called the American Riviera. It features the likes of the Santa Ynez Mountains rising dramatically behind you, the Pacific Ocean glittering ahead, and some of the most well-preserved Spanish colonial architecture in California. This is a city that feels like a luxury resort year-round. Santa Barbara, home Montecito, the elite neighborhood where the rich and ultra-wealthy call home. The likes of Oprah, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle, and Ariana Grande. Everything here is boutique and refined to perfection. You won't find strip malls or cookie-cutter franchises. What you will find is a community that cherishes quiet wealth, environmental beauty, and an unparalleled sense of calm. The lifestyle is where Santa Barbara really cashes in. Surfing at Rincon, hiking through the Douglas Family Preserve, weekend wine tastings in the Funk Zone, and some of California's most scenic biking trails. The city is committed to sustainability, and eco-conscious urban planning and low-density living keep its neighborhoods clean, safe, and serene. If money weren't an issue, could you live in a city like Santa Barbara? Drop your comment below. Families love it for its amazing schools. Retirees love it for the peace. Artists love it for the inspiration. But the truth is, unless you've got a very comfortable income, you'll need serious financial planning to live in Santa Barbara. Welcome to Palo Alto, number 7 on our countdown of the most expensive cities to live in California in 2025, and the undisputed capital of Silicon Valley dreams. If cities had resumes, Palo Alto's would be jaw-dropping. Home to Stanford University, birthplace of Google and Facebook, and neighbor to the giants that run your digital life. Palo Alto isn't just expensive, it's super expensive. We're talking about a city where a 1,300 square foot house built in the 1950s can easily sell for $2.9 million. It's not because of gold-plated walls, it's because of what surrounds it: power, prestige, and proximity to innovation. Palo Alto is a city of tech wealth. Venture capitalists stroll into Phil's Coffee and casually chat about funding rounds. Here, even the air feels like it's carrying data. And when you live in the epicenter of global technology, you're not just paying for a house, you're buying into a mindset, a magnet of modern progress. Let's talk about numbers because they don't lie. Renting a 2-bedroom apartment here? Expect to pay nearly $6,000 a month. That doesn't include utilities, groceries, gas, etc. Palo Alto is a place where people of mixed personality and status live. Tech founders who sold their startups for millions, Stanford professors, and postgrads living in shared units, wealthy families with children in top-tier private schools. One of the biggest ironies of Palo Alto is, despite the wealth, the city doesn't flaunt it. There's no flashiness here. You won't find Bentleys racing down the street. What you'd rather see is understated luxury, intellectual wealth wrapped in Patagonia fleece. That's the vibe here. Palo Alto also scores high on sustainability and wellness. There are green building codes, solar roofs, electric everything, and a population that deeply values healthy, balanced living. A recent study ranked Palo Alto as one of the happiest cities for high-income earners. But on the other side, the same study revealed that middle-class families and younger professionals are increasingly being priced out. It's a city that welcomes the elite, but slowly pushes out the rest. This is San Francisco, number 6 on our journey through California's most expensive cities to live in 2025. And let me be straight with you, this city is like falling in love with someone who constantly drains your bank account. It's gorgeous and brutally expensive. San Francisco has always been a city of extremes, like extreme innovation, extreme diversity, extreme topography, and extreme cost. But unlike a place like Palo Alto, where wealth is laser-focused on tech, San Francisco combines multiple forces: big tech, big tourism, big history, and big dreams. And all of those forces combined push the price way up. Let's start with the real estate. Whether you're renting or buying, San Francisco gives your wallet an unavoidable crisis. A modest 2-bedroom apartment in a decent neighborhood will cost you over $5,000 a month, and that's if you're lucky. $2 million for 2 bedrooms will be the most affordable home, that is, if you are buying. San Francisco gives you something important few other cities can. It's not just about the money, but the whole experience. There is world-class cuisine in this mission, some of the best public parks in the country, iconic architecture, and access to global companies and creative hubs. It's a full-blown beautiful chaos, and that is what people are paying top dollar for. Would you pay over $5,000 a month to live in a tiny apartment if it meant waking up in a city that practically invented the future? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's talk tech. San Francisco is still home to heavy giants like Salesforce, Uber, Airbnb, and Reddit, etc. The salaries are high, but so is the stress. And if you think an $180,000 salary means luxury living, think again. In San Francisco, that's just surviving. What's interesting is the sheer variety of people still holding on here. You will see ambitious locals with rent control blessings and new families pushing strollers up hills. Then there are retirees who bought their homes back in the 70s and are now sitting on millions in equity. It's a wild mix of stories. And honestly, that's what gives San Francisco its edge. Living in San Francisco gives you the feeling of waking up in a place that is constantly writing history. Maybe it's worth every dollar, if that excites you. Number 5 on our list of California's most expensive cities in 2025 is Beverly Hills, the land of luxury and legacy. Beverly Hills is not just a place. This city has become the global symbol of status, glamour, and elite exclusivity. To put things into perspective, it costs about $5 million for an average home, many of which were built decades ago. And if you're renting, prepare to spend over $6,000 a month. That's not an exaggeration. Beverly Hills is a world of its own, where your neighbor might be a Kardashian, a Saudi prince, or a tech billionaire. It costs so much to live in Beverly Hills because of the prestige and privacy it poses. Beverly Hills offers ultra high-end living in the middle of Los Angeles. Unlike San Francisco, Beverly Hills is without crowds, chaos, and constant noise. Every inch of this city is meticulously designed to cater to the ultra-wealthy. A stroll to Rodeo Drive will blow your mind. People call it an international fashion pilgrimage. Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, etc. are all here. And it's very common to see people walking out with 5 figures worth of luxury goods in one afternoon. But Beverly Hills isn't all glitz and paparazzi. Behind the scenes, people who live here don't just want wealth. They want protection, privacy, and prestige. The city does not fall short of it either. Imagine. It has its own police department, its own city services, and some of the most heavily surveilled residential streets in America. No wonder crime feels rare there. Beverly Hills isn't just about old money anymore. There's a growing influx of tech entrepreneurs, crypto millionaires, and international investors looking for a secure base in Southern California. Plus the ultra-competitive school districts and zero overhead billboards, Beverly Hills has to be one of the cleanest environments in the entire state. To be honest, the cost of living is astonishingly high. Groceries are 35–40% higher than the national average. Your electric bill might be $800 just to power your wine cellar. But it's worth every single cent to the people who call this place home. Number 4 on our journey through California's most expensive cities in 2005 is Los Altos. It costs over $6 million for an average home in Los Altos. And we're not talking about fancy condos here. We're talking about custom-designed estates with private orchards, helipads, indoor spas, and panic rooms. Most homes here aren't even visible from the street. This city is all about privacy, prestige, and power that hides in plain sight. The 3 pillars that make Los Altos Hills so insanely expensive are tech wealth, strict zoning laws, and a heavily protected lifestyle. First of all, you won't find Starbucks or gas stations here. Los Altos Hills is one of the only cities in California with no commercial zoning, no stores, no businesses, not even a grocery shop. That's by design. The city was structured to be purely residential, offering maximum peace and privacy to its residents, who, by the way, include some of the wealthiest individuals on the planet. CEOs, founders, crypto pioneers, and AI geniuses live here, and they can afford to. Would you want to live in a place where you never see your neighbors, but you know they could buy an island if they felt like it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment below. This city is also incredibly green, both environmentally and literally. Zoning regulations require large plots of land, limit light pollution, and protect wildlife corridors. You'll find solar panels on nearly every roof and electric vehicles in every garage. It's a futuristic paradise, well designed not for flash, but for sustainability, innovation, and legacy. But don't mistake quiet for dull. Behind those gates are art collections, AI labs, meditation rooms, and climate-controlled wine libraries. The parties may be private, but the ideas that are born here, they change the world. Los Altos Hills isn't just where people live, it's where they think, where they plot the future of industries, where they write the next chapter of the digital age, often barefoot from a backyard deck overlooking the valley. The school options nearby are among the best in the country. There are elite private schools, and of course, Stanford University is just down the road. In terms of safety, this city has some of the lowest crime rates in California, thanks to both law enforcement and private security presence. In Los Altos Hills, the concept of wealth is subtle, quiet, and ultra-curated. It's the kind of place where the silence speaks volumes. But to live here, you'll need more than money. You'll need vision, connections, and a desire for a discreet life. This is Malibu, number 3 on our list of California's most expensive cities to live in 2025. Someone living in Malibu would definitely have the Pacific Ocean as a backyard, and a front yard is usually a Ferrari. That's the lifestyle there. The thing is, Malibu isn't just a city, it's a fantasy and celebrity feeling. It costs nearly $7 million for the average home here, and that's just the average. Some properties in Malibu easily rise as high as $50 million, especially the ones along Carbon Beach, popularly known as Billionaire's Beach. This place doesn't just house the rich, it defines what the rich look like in California. Malibu is where money meets nature in its most amazing way. There are 27 miles of coastline and sprawling vineyards in the hills. There's no exaggeration. Everyone from Leonardo DiCaprio to Lady Gaga owns property here. There are 3 key factors that make Malibu so expensive beyond the oceanfront views. 1. Scarcity of buildable land. 2. Strict zoning laws. 3. And unmatched oceanfront real estate. The truth of the matter is, Malibu isn't just a node for the elite. It's also home to quiet, old money, and generational estates. Places that never hit the market because they've been in families for decades. It's the kind of town where your neighbors might own a vineyard on one side and a fashion empire on the other. Everyone is discreet, but trust me, the net worth per square mile here is staggering. If you could wake up to the sound of waves every morning and watch dolphins swim from your balcony, would you take it, even if it cost you millions? Would you give up downtown convenience for coastal peace? Leave your answer in the comment section. Malibu is also one of the highest risk areas for wildfires in California. To live here safely, most homeowners invest in fireproof architecture, private insurance, backup generators, and even personal firefighting crews on retainer. Safety doesn't come cheap in a city where nature's beauty can also be its biggest threat. Malibu is more than a coastal city, it's an escape. It's beautiful, it's remote, it's soothing, but it's also very expensive and fragile. Number 2 on our list is Napa, also known as the heart of California wine county, where the views are rich and the price of peace comes in 7 figures. Aside from wine tours and weekend getaways, Napa has quietly transformed into one of the most desirable and costly places to actually live in the entire state. In 2025, Napa's luxury housing market has jumped through the roof, and the reason is not far-fetched. Among the reasons for the surge in prices are post-pandemic urban exodus, remote work culture, ultra-wealthy retirees, and the prestige of owning a home in one of the world's most recognized wine regions. I personally believe it's expensive because of the lifestyle that wine supports. Take a look at what people are paying for: acres of private land, vineyard-facing architecture, secluded estates with geothermal heating, underground wine cellars, and most importantly, tranquility. The culture in Napa revolves around slow living and quality over quantity. People here measure wealth by peace of mind, by the clarity of the sky, not by how many stories their penthouse has. It's a revisiting of ancient living, and since it's rare to come by in today's world, that makes it even more expensive. Talking about food, Napa is a global culinary hub, with more Michelin-starred restaurants per capita than most major cities. Even a casual dinner here might include wine pairings. And because zoning laws in Napa are strict to preserve agricultural land and scenic views, supply is incredibly limited, making demand even more intense. There's also a healing energy in Napa that wealthy people seek. You'll find private wellness retreats, vineyard yoga classes, equine therapy, etc. Napa is a wealth you don't need to show off. It's wealth you can taste, breathe, and live quietly with. For some, it's the ultimate status symbol. No noise, no traffic, no pressure. Just perfect Pinot and panoramic view of sunset. Top of the mountain, the #1 most expensive city to live in California in 2025, the most expensive zip code in the entire United States. Welcome to Atherton, a place so exclusive, most people don't even know it exists. It takes over $9 million to own a median home in Atherton. And mind you, Atherton doesn't have condos, nor does it have apartment buildings. It's almost entirely private single-family estates, and the level of seclusion here is mind-blowing. Here are the 3 undeniable forces behind why Atherton is insanely expensive. 1. Location at the heart of Silicon Valley. 2. Zoning designed for mega wealth. 3. And a culture of absolute exclusivity. This city sits right in the middle of the tech power triangle, with Palo Alto to the south, Menlo Park to the north, and Stanford just next door. It's no coincidence that some of the wealthiest people in the world have quietly chosen Atherton as their base. The like of Mark Zuckerberg, Eric Schmidt, and dozens of other super wealthy people. Atherton is residential only. There are no shops, no cafes, and no gas stations, just roads and estates. Even the trees here are regulated to maintain privacy. It's one of the few cities where you might never see your neighbor, unless you both happen to land your helicopters at the same time. Life in Atherton is completely self-contained. Most residents have private chefs, personal assistants, security patrols, and home gyms larger than most boutique fitness studios. Groceries are delivered to you at home. Your car service takes you to a private terminal in San Carlos or San Jose when you need to fly. Even pets in Atherton have better healthcare plans than some people. And don't let the town's quiet demeanor fool you. Atherton has one of the highest average household incomes in the United States. But you won't see flashy behavior. People here don't need to prove their wealth, and guarded discretion is the ultimate luxury in Atherton. The truth of the matter is that Atherton wasn't always this way. It started as a sleepy residential area, but over the last 2 decades, as Silicon Valley ballooned, the demand for secluded, prestigious living skyrocketed. Now it's become a city where billionaires compete not for attention, but for silence, and they're willing to pay heavily for it. Now that you see from oceanfront elegance to mountaintop peace, from Hollywood glitz to Silicon Valley shadows, we've seen how wildly different wealth can look in the state of California. We also see that in California, luxury isn't just about money. It's about privacy, status, and lifestyle. Now, if money were no problem, where would you prefer to live among the list we presented? Drop your answer in the comments section, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so YouTube will notify you when we post another awesome video like this.